Hello and welcome to Wunda Walter on the 16K expanded VIC-20, and this was released by Interceptor Software back in 1984, so a fairly late-ish sort of game for the VIC-20, and I did actually own this back in the day. I remember picked it up at a reasonable price in the market back in the day, and let's get started. So I don't know why it plays the Yellow Rose of Texas, but you take control of Wunda Walter, and the idea is to get from, I think the level loops round a few times, so you've got to get to the end of the level. I'm not sure if it loops actually now I think about it, but it's a bit hard to tell, there's not too much detail on it. But you've got to survive the level long enough to get to the next one. Well, you can pick up these little glowing balls. You don't have to pick them up, you get bonus points for picking them up, and it's a bit hazardous picking them up sometimes, so it's worth just playing it safe. So you can see the animation and the graphics in general are pretty good. One of the nicer looking VIC-20 games I had back in the day. In terms of sound, it's got great sound effects, and even the little tunes are pretty good. Obviously if you hit anything then it's not good. Yeah, I mean sound wise it's one of the best VIC-20 games that I've heard, I think. The graphics are great. And this level's a bit harder because you've got to stay at the right hand edge of the screen to avoid the enemy approaching from the left, but then the scenery approaches from the right, so it can be quite tricky. Whoops. Yep, so I mean I don't think it's too frustrating to play. Back in the day I actually thought this was pretty hard, but I've been playing it a fairly bit recently and actually it's pretty easy. It's easy to loot the game. There's only 4 levels and I'm on level 2 already. It's easy as long as you don't try and pick up these little balls, because that's where you tend to lose your lives the most, I think. Then you don't get a lot of points if you don't pick them up. If you're playing the game for score, then you're not going to get a lot of points. So yep, there's, what can I say? Okay, it's not, the scrolling isn't exactly smooth. I mean, I guess it's scrolling character by character. But if you look at it, there's 3 layers of parallax there. There's the main layer, there's a layer at the bottom, and there's a static starfield in the background. So that's 3 layers of scrolling, so that's pretty good, I think. Oh. And there's a rather ridiculous scrolling message on each level, but I've no idea what it says because obviously I'm playing the game, so you can't read it, so I've no idea what's the point of putting a scrolling message in game. I don't know. I suppose nowadays I can watch the video back and read it then, but back in the day you'd be stuffed. I guess you could read it if somebody else is playing the game. Or I suppose you could attach your VHS or Betamax recorder to the VIC-20 and record it that way and read it if you want to be if you want to go down that route. So yeah, the controls are pretty reasonable. I mean, they're just slippery enough to present a bit of a challenge. But unfortunately there's just no real variety in the levels, it's just pretty much the same. You're just flying around and trying to pick up these balls where you can and avoid the landscape and the enemy that keeps flying across. Oof. It does present some short-term fun, I think, and a bit of a short-term challenge. I think if you play it seriously enough, it won't take you long to loop the game. But I mean, I suppose there is some graphical variety between the levels. I think it does make pretty good use of the VIC-20 in general. You can see how it would require the expansion. We're in the last level here, but I've only got one life left, so I can't really see me completing it. Oh, these little purple, I don't know if they're trees or aliens, but they pop up at the volcano. I guess, or I don't know if it's a volcanic eruption, or it's a bit hard to tell. So yeah, the controls, I didn't even mention them, it's you hold in fire to propel yourself upwards to, I think you're inflating yourself, you let go and it just drops you down, you move left and right, and that's it, that's the controls. That's it, I think I've completed the game. Yep, and it just loops round. So that's Wunda for you. I mean, it looks and sounds great, I think. But yeah, the gameplay is a bit limited. So I'll give it 6 out of 10. It's by no means a bad game, it's just the gameplay is a little limited, but it's still pretty good fun for a while. And yeah, that's. I mean, I used to play it a fair bit back in the day. So yep, 6 out of 10 for Wunda. It's a reasonably good game. It's just nothing amazing. It's certainly well presented, well put together. Alright, see you in the next video.